Hello, this is Jarrett Lau, the founder of Green Ocean Property Management. Every single time I speak to a new owner, I always go through the whole spiel of why I created this business. And in this video, I'm gonna be explaining that very same thing because I want you to understand where it came from. I started off as an insurance agency, working as a kid in my dad's company. From there, I got into mortgages. And as you know, insurance and mortgages are very real estate heavy. So my natural transition was to get into real estate. And I got into it in the greater Boston market doing rentals. That means you're renting, showing an apartment, renting it out for a landlord and connecting tenants together. When you start working with a lot of landlords, these people started saying, hey, why don't you start helping me out with a little bit of maintenance or collecting of rent? All these random things that I would end up doing. I honestly didn't know what it meant to do property management. What it really means is helping a landlord do everything that they would typically do. And my father and my grandparents, they owned real estate, and I was flipping breakers and helping install rugs since I was a child. So I said, okay, well, it couldn't be too hard. And it really isn't. But to do it well is a completely different thing. And when I say well, you have to have the nuances of being able to problem solve quickly, to have the connections, right? What you know is important, but who you know is even more important. And more importantly, to be able to understand every single thing, to be able to proactively prevent things in the future, from lawsuits to issues to problems and maintenance. And that's my job as a property manager. And I wanted to minimize the headaches of my family and as well as the properties that I own, so I created this business. Honestly, we've been doing it for 15 plus years and we are learning every single day. And that's the difference. I think a lot of property managers or even just company owners in general, they might have a profitable product and they just keep doing the same thing over and over. That's the definition of insanity. We recreate and reinvent everything we do. We look at our processes, we look at our problems, and we look at our people, and we try to improve them on a daily basis. We've structured this so that we can not only help you, the landlord, help our tenants, but most importantly, create something different in an industry that is historically just, a guy in a wrench or doing real estate agents doing this part-time to be able to get the rentals. We don't do this on a part-time basis. We're in this for the long term. And property management isn't one of those businesses where you make a ton of money on one deal. What ends up happening is that just like insurance, we make a very little bit amount on a reoccurring basis. And that means that we have to keep our relationships with both our tenants and our landlords. We have to do a good job over the long term. And that really for me is the most important thing, is the relationships. I created this business so that landlords such as myself and my family members had someone that they could count on, is dependable, and that is always looking to improve what they do for me and for my tenants and my property. Because at the end of the day, these properties are worth millions of dollars. It's going to be your most important aspect. You don't want someone who takes this on a lackadaisical whim. You want someone who will actually care enough to be able to treat it as if their own, like we do. And that's what I do. I work 7 days a week, making sure that everything's okay. My life is obviously very important to have that balance, but at the end of the day, your properties are just as important. So if you or anyone else you know is looking for a proactive property manager that cares about you, your tenants, and your property as if it was their own, please think of Green Ocean Property Management, where you get more than a property manager, you get peace of mind.